Kris, looking at just Connor Ingram's body of work since you've come here, and overall, what's been your impressions, and maybe what's impressed you most about when he's played?
I think Connor's played very well. I think all but one start has been very solid. Some games have been really good. The last one against Chicago, I thought that was his best. But, he's given us steady goaltending. He's made some big saves when we needed them. And, and we've been happy with his play.
A lot of coaches have talked about one of the biggest challenges is when you have extra skaters is to try to keep them in the mix. You've never really had three goalies, at least not in Edmonton before. How do you plan to kind of maneuver the waters of three goalies, and do you think it'll last?
This is new for us. We haven't quite decided exactly what we're going to do. Right now we do have three goalies. And, Jari coming back, just back from injury, we got to be careful on how much he plays. Where this is typically a game that he could have started, but just coming back from injury, giving him a little more time between games. But, we're not really set on exactly how we're going to do this three goalies. And if it's for the rest of the season, is it for the next couple of weeks, is it for a couple months, whatever. But right now we're just kind of playing it day by day.
Kris, you've given Jack Roslovic a few games in a row here at center. How would you assess how it's gone for him? He's obviously cooled off a bit offensively since before he got hurt, but just your overall assessment.
The goal totals haven't been there, since we put him at center. His line has been outscored, but I think it's more on circumstances rather than actually his play. I think back the Chicago game where his line could have had 4 or 5 goals. Like, they were all over it, especially Rosie. He had many, many chances. Puck just didn't go in. He's been on the ice for a few goals against, and I can't say that he's at fault for any of those. Certainly something we would like to play out a little bit longer, seeing him as our centerman.
I know you're more focused on your own team, but a lot of teams, when they play the Oilers, the opposition coaches talk about going up against, Connor and Leon. Tonight, you've got a guy on the other team in the back end that's, a pretty explosive, special player that can drive. Just a thought on what you've seen, when you're going through prepping for the game against the Islanders with Schaefer.
Yeah, with, I think Schaefer and even Barzell, they're two very dynamic players who like to get involved in the play. They're very dangerous off the rush and kind of freelance. Like, they're not, if they see some ice available, they're tremendous skaters. They take advantage of it. And the Islanders are a good team off the rush. They score a lot off the rush. So that's something, a lot of it's driven by those two players. But with Schaefer, being a young defenseman, playing in the league, it's tough playing in the league as a defenseman anytime. And, for a rookie to be playing as many minutes and the competition he's playing against is, it's quite impressive.
Kris, you mentioned 18-year-olds breaking into the league. You coach juniors, so do you have a different appreciation for an 18-year-old stepping into the National Hockey League? Because you had 18-year-olds playing junior, and certainly we're a long way away from playing in the NHL.
Yeah, you can, as a coach, you can always hide those younger players as the forwards. You can get them favorable matchups. You can, kind of help them with a stronger centerman or line mates. But as a defenseman, you have to be able to defend. You have to be able to play regular shifts against other good teams' top lines. And, there's only 3 pairs of you. And obviously he's been doing that with the amount of minutes he's playing. And, obviously his strength is his skating. He gets around the ice very well. But obviously he's a smart player who can see the game.
Is there something in the water in Erie, or is it the great coaching with McDavid and Schaefer?
Well, they got two pretty good defensemen there that graduated from that program. So, their styles are quite a bit different. Adam Palik's a very tremendous defensive player. Schaefer, a lot more offense to his game, but a lot of respect for both those two.